Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while and I know I keep saying that I'll upload more, and I promise I'm going to be doing a lot more of these tutorial videos, and I'll also be doing some ranking videos if you guys are interested. I was in my creative testing world the other day and I was messing around with redstone. I decided to make a bamboo farm, and then I realized, hey, it's actually a pretty good design. I should make this into a video. So here we are now. And before we get into the actual making, and I'll put a timestamp if you want to get straight into the building, I just want to talk about the advantages of making a bamboo farm. It means you can make plenty of scaffolding, which is obviously super useful when building stuff. You don't have to place dirt everywhere, and you can break it, and it's a physics block, so when you break it, it all comes down and you can pick it up. It's really useful to have, and it also makes sticks, and also it's good to note that they grow on grass blocks, podzol blocks, dirt, coarse dirt, sand, red sand, and gravel. And all of these can be used in the farm. Don't worry about the fact that these are physics blocks. The way in which the farm is made, it doesn't matter if these are physics blocks, they won't fall down. Also, I'd just like to talk about the smelting capabilities of these things. You have obviously bamboo, 0.25 items per bamboo for furnaces, and then for blast furnaces and smokers, they're twice as fast for whatever they specialize in smelting. So the fuel is used up twice as fast, which means that it's 0.125 items per bamboo for both of them. So that means you need 8 bamboo to smelt one item, as compared to 4 for a furnace. And then for sticks, because they're made of 2 bamboo, it's 0.5 items per stick in a furnace, and then 0.25 for a smoker or a blast furnace. And then for some reason it's different in Java and Bedrock, but in Java, scaffolding smelts 12 items, so that's actually pretty good. And then in blast furnaces and smokers, it's 6 items. You get the gist of it basically. It's half every time. If you're on Bedrock and you're not using scaffolding, I really would recommend it because it's 36 items per scaffolding, which is pretty damn good if you ask me. Obviously, you will need some string, but it's pretty easy to get your hands on some string, especially early game. You can just find a spider spawner in a mine shaft or something. As regards to the dimensions of the farm, it is 6 high per layer and 20 long and 4 wide. I think I meant the other way around. It's 4 long and 20 wide, yes. In terms of the materials, I will have these all in the description. These are all the materials you need, and I'm not going to read through all of them. You can check in the description. This can be any of the blocks that I mentioned that bamboo can grow on, and you need at least 17 solid blocks. These can also be the same block, you know, white concrete or whatever, but this can also be glass, but you need to have at least 17 solid blocks. For layer 2, it's pretty much the same thing, a few less hoppers, a few more observers, glass, white concrete, but apart from that, it's pretty much the same. And also the components to make a dropper circuit, and layer 3 and above, so if you want to make 4 layers, maybe like 50 layers, with the upcoming 1.17 update, it's just layer 2 and then an extra hopper. That's all you need. It's really simple. But anyway, now that we've gone through that, I think it's about time we get into the building. So, I would recommend marking out the 4x20 area, as it makes following this tutorial a lot easier. Where I am putting these chests is where your storage system or output system is going to go. You then want to take all 5 of your hoppers and lead them into your chest like this, followed by 11 blocks in one row. At the end of the row of glass, place 2 powered rails with a solid block coming off the end like this, and a redstone block to power the rails. Next, place in all 11 normal rails, and you should see they stop just before the hoppers. Then place 2 more powered rails, a redstone block like before, and a block on top of the hopper to their left. Place in your hopper minecart, and that'll be your collection and storage systems pretty much done for layer 1. Place your block of choice to grow bamboo on above all the rails, and a row of blocks diagonally behind them. Next, add a line of pistons facing towards the podzol. Then, behind that, a row of solid blocks and observers above the piston facing towards the podzol. Finally, place redstone dust on top of all of the solid blocks. Now, let's get this thing cased up. For the final few seconds, let's just enjoy the sound of horses galloping. And that's your layer 1 done. First, place a dropper facing downwards like this and remove 2 blocks to make way for your 3 hoppers leading into the dropper. Now, let's make a dropper circuit to spit out all the items produced by the second layer. Place a solid block coming diagonally off of the dropper like this, followed by a comparator coming out of the dropper so it detects if the dropper contains items. Then, place a solid block coming out of the comparator and next to it a sticky piston. Next, we need to get observers in to make a looping circuit. Follow how I place them to get them the right way around, as it's pretty difficult to explain. With that done, we can make a tube for the items to go straight down without the possibility of them not ending on the hopper at the bottom. From there, it's simply a rinse and repeat of the first layer, provided you have the correct materials and a bit of patience. Completely unrelated, I rather stupidly forgot to put any bamboo in the farm, so make sure you don't forget to like I did. I did it on literally both layers. What's great is, the only thing that changes between layers 1 and above is the fact that layers 2 and higher require a dropper circuit to get the items down to the storage area. Now, if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to use the rest of this time to ask you to subscribe if you're new or have been watching my videos lately, as more like these will be coming out soon. And so, this is what a 2-layer bamboo farm looks like. You can see from the design that it can be repeated practically infinitely and also flipped, and I'll show you guys how to do that along the back side to be most space efficient. Also, for layers 3 and up, you want to place a hopper on top of the dropper from the layer below it. Each layer produces around 4.5 stacks of bamboo per hour, but I wanted to bring that up to a double chest per hour, so that's what I did. I went onto the same world with World Edit and made it 6 layers tall, as I felt like 12 made it seem too much. I then realised it would only produce half a double chest per hour, so I flipped the design along the back to double the produce. So here we are 2 hours after recording the layer 2 clip, and as you can see I moved the tube and the dropper circuit 1 block back on each layer to compensate for 2 hopper lines running into each dropper. I also moved the redstone blocks to in between the rail lines with repeaters coming out of them to save on redstone. And I flipped this in such a way that all pistons on each layer would be fired pretty much at the same time. And over here we have my modified hopper lines as well as a silo storage, but as you probably saw in previous clips, here is my outer shell, I guess you could call it. And it only has 6 layers of the farm in it, but I made it so it could very easily have the layers flipped because there's enough space that's not being filled right now. And I actually quite like it. You've got little lights flashing on or off to say when the droppers are dropping items, and a humongous silo storage system that took me an age to make, with a light at the very top to indicate when it's loading items into the system or not. Oh, there, yeah, that happened. As well as the classic silo lamps for when the actual chests are loading, and as you can see, it's been quietly loading while I've been building for about an hour, and I really like the design. And you know what? I think what we should do is a little, well, not really competition, but where you send me your screenshots of your outer shell ideas on my brand new Discord community server, and I'll feature them in the next video. And, you know, if you ever want to hang out on there, we can chat and talk and just have a really great time, and I think that'll be an awesome way to get to know you guys a bit better. But sadly, all good things must come to an end. Unlike this video, which is 30 minutes longer. No, I'm only joking, but I hope this did help you with your bamboo farm needs, and if this makes you want to make one, let me know in the comments. That'll be so cool to hear. And if you do want to see more content like this video in the future, please do subscribe, because we are really close to 100 subscribers. So if you want to be part of that first 100, now is your chance. And if you have the time, go check out the Discord server, see what there is to do there. Maybe catch me while I'm online. You might be able to have a chat with me. I really would love to do that. And anyways, see you guys next time. Bye.